This is the Beach Boys' Smiley Smile. It was originally released on September 18, 1967. Of course, Smiley Smile was what the Beach Boys offered after Smile was shelved. The project, originally intended to be the follow-up to Pet Sounds, collapsed sometime in early 1967 due to many factors. After Smile collapsed, the Beach Boys still had to record an album for Capitol. Instead of assembling an album from the sessions, a new album was recorded at Brian Wilson's home studio in Bel Air. Recorded in less than 2 months, Smiley Smile would be the first Beach Boys album that was produced by the band, rather than just Brian Wilson himself. The content was strange. Some of the tracks were watered-down versions of the Smile recordings, like Vegetables, Wind Chimes, and Wonderful. Pieces of the cancelled masterpiece are scattered throughout the album. The instrumental, Fall Breaks and Back to Winter, is a reworked version of Miss O'Leary's Cow, the infamous fire recording that frightened Brian. New tracks were based on Smile fragments. For instance, She's Going Bold was loosely based on a Smile fragment called He Gives Speeches. Heroes and Villains was released earlier in 1967 as a single, which was apparently different from the version that was intended to appear on Smile. An alternate version of this track with the unused Cantina section would later be released as a bonus track on the Smiley Smile and Wild Honey 2 album CD in 1990. Good Vibrations was also included on the album, but this supposedly went against Brian Wilson's wishes. When released in the late summer of 1967, Smiley Smile didn't fare too well. Critics didn't know what to think of it, and listeners couldn't understand it. It disappointed many, and the Beach Boys were unfairly deemed unhip. The album only reached number 41 on the US chart. In the UK, it did much better, reaching number 9. At this time, the Beach Boys were becoming very popular in the UK, as Pet Sounds, Beach Boys Party, Summer Days and Summer Nights, and Today were top 10 hit albums over there. After Smiley Smile did poorly, the albums that came afterwards didn't do so well stateside, but they did much better in the UK. Today, Smiley Smile is a cult favorite and is considered something of a misunderstood masterpiece of sorts by some. It's not an album for all tastes. It may pale in comparison to the legendary Smile, but it has some brilliance in it. Brian Wilson eventually completed Smile on his own with the help of several musicians. This version was released on September 28, 2004. So I'm going to show you the album cover in full detail here. Stereo phonographs. Catalog number here. File under Beach Boys. The house there. This was the first release on Brother Records, but it was still distributed by Capitol. Wild Honey was going to be on Brother, but it ended up just being on Capitol Records. They were also planning on releasing a live album sometime after Smiley. It was a couple of performances in Hawaii, I believe. I think the name of the album was Laid in Hawaii. It was supposed to be released sometime after Smiley Smile, but it never happened. So the album cover is based on the artwork of Henri Rousseau, and hopefully I'm pronouncing his name right. He was a French painter, and here's an example of his artwork in this book I have. It's from 1906, if I could read that correctly there. Looks like it says 1906. Yep, as you can see, very similar. So, that's the front cover. Take a look at the back. Show it in full view here. And show the details. The smile that you send out returns to you, Indian wisdom. Okay, we got the track listing. Got Heroes and Villains. Vegetables, of course, they removed the hyphen so it didn't look like vegetables. It features Paul McCartney eating celery. It's pretty cool. You can hear him chomping on it in the background. But my tenny flew right out. I'm red as a beet, 'cause I'm so embarrassed. got Fall Breaks and Back to Winter. Also titled Woody Woodpecker Symphony because they use a squeeze box to imitate Woody Woodpecker's laugh during the song. It's an instrumental. It's pretty cool. And it's supposedly a reworking of the Fire, Miss O'Leary's Cow track from Smile. You got She's Going Bold, which has a sped up section in the middle. Got Little Pad with some great harmonies. Good Vibrations, With Me Tonight, which is a pretty decent song. We got Wind Chimes and Wonderful, which are Smile tracks, but they're a lot different. And we got Getting Hungry, which is one of my favorite songs on the album. The single version is about 2 minutes longer. And we got Whistlin', the closing to the album. Got all this here. Got all this text here. All these little details. And of course, Brother Records. Put it over here. Full view of the back. Now I'm going to show you the record itself. Personally, I think the album, is pretty good. I don't think it's great. I know some people consider it to be like a bit of a misunderstood masterpiece. I'd give it about maybe a B-. It is a very underproduced album, very raw, but I still enjoy it. There's moments of brilliance throughout, and the songs are overall enjoyable. And I like some of the little quirks, like the sped up section in the middle of She's Going Bold, and stuff like that. Got the label. Fortunately, that's either some scribbling, I guess. You got that side 1. We got side 2. So yeah, I think the album is a bit of a mess. You can disagree if you want. To each is their own. It's obviously no Smile, but it's still worth listening to. And it's, it's now considered like it's gotten better reviews now. Back in the past, of course, they probably didn't know what to think of it. And, considering that they were expecting something of Smile quality, or even, like the previous albums like Pet Sounds, I could see why they'd be disappointed. So, that was Smiley Smile by the Beach Boys. Thanks for watching. This is IMAX Nation 1980, signing off.